notes. That sickness.
Well, how does it sound just me talking? Does it sound like I'm sick?
It sounds a little congested, but on that cough, it definitely got a little pitchy there. Yeah, it's like, you've never made that sound before.
All right, welcome.
Welcome.
We Media. I'm the host, Blurman Gus.
And I'm the sidekick,
Yeah, that's right.
Aaron T.
Yeah, I come to you with all my entertainment news. Except about Godzilla. Don't do that.
Godzilla's off limits.
Yeah, we're not talking about it. Yeah. I just wanted to get over the sad stuff first. Where was it? Yeah. So this actor's name is Andre Brower. How do you say
Andre
that?
Brower passed away, R.I.P.
Yeah, unexpected, right?
Very sudden, brief illness, his wife claims. He was 61 years old, so he was young. You know, in today's society, when 50 is the new 30, 60's what, the new 35? So...
Yeah, me and my girl love watching reruns of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah, Holt is a great actor, great character, you know. It was definitely fun to watch him on that show, but... Yeah, it sucks, man. How did he pass? Do you know?
She said the family's only released a brief statement about a brief illness that he had. So it's not like it was...
But that's what they said. They said illness. They didn't even say what it was?
Brief illness. So it wasn't like he was battling cancer like Chadwick Boseman was or something and keeping it private, you know, like Norm Macdonald did. Like, this was something that apparently happened. Really, it kind of came on quick and it came on strong, and I guess it got on top of him. I don't know if the family's going to do an autopsy or anything to really determine a cause of death.
I mean, the state has to by law.
Okay.
Do autopsy. You can't just be like, well, he died, all right, we're good.
We'll take your word for it.
Exactly, nah.
But yeah, he was... I watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine reruns all the time, and I watched a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff too, and they were talking about how he had never really done a comedy role before this, and so when you have like Andy Samberg doing improv in front of you, right, and you don't know how to do it... Like,
did he start SNL, Andy?
Did he start SNL?
No, is that what made his career, SNL?
SNL, him and the guys from The Lonely Island were all writers there on SNL, okay. And they would do the digital shorts, and then that's, really what blew him up. But so he would actually feed lines to Andre Brower because he's like, I don't know how to do improv, basically. And so, like, in the first couple of seasons, you know, and then eventually he kind of came into his own and really found the character. But, yeah, it's really interesting to see all of that, and then so unexpected.
Sad. Yeah, sad story. Well, I wish good things for his family and whatnot. That sucks, man.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers.
There's that other actress, too, Kate... How do you say that?
Kate Micucci.
Micucci, yeah. Didn't she have, like, a show with that other blonde girl comedian? She was called, like, The Gooch, right? Or
well, she was called The Gooch on Scrubs.
On Scrubs, okay. Right. That's what I'm thinking of, yeah. I loved her on... Well, I love that show in general.
She and that, the blonde girl had their band, Garfunkel and Oates.
Yeah, that one, okay.
So it's like Simon Garfunkel, Hall and Oates, and it's like, what are the worst two people? So Garfunkel and Oates became their thing. And that's where I play the song for you, where it's like...
Yeah, it's pretty graphic. Yeah, she was a funny girl, good actress. So, yeah, it says she has developed lung cancer despite never smoking. So, all you smokers out there, smoke them if you got them, man. It doesn't matter, I guess.
Well, I mean, that's... You know, you see that a lot, though.
Yeah, well, that show, that was super popular. Everyone loved it. I hated it a bit. The guy who made meth or whatever.
Oh, Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it started with him having lung cancer. So
right.
I've never smoked before. It's just like, I guess.
He's like, I did everything right, and still this happened to me. And, I mean, my mom and I used to, like, make jokes about, you know, how she would smoke, you know, all day, every day kind of a thing. And yet, some guy who's, you know, 28 years old, perfect health, training for a marathon, just drops dead at the finish line. Yeah. And you're like, how...
Yeah, crazy how life works like that.
Yeah, how you can do everything right, and yet, you know, is it genetic or is it just your time? But yeah, it's always a tragic when it happens.
Well, let's see here. Here's what Google saying. Based on the observed trends for the past 3 decades, the researchers estimate the global number of new early onset cancer cases and associated deaths will rise by a further 31 and 21 respectively by 2030. So they're saying by 2030 we're going to see at least a minimum jump of 20% as far as 30% in cancers. And that's just all cancers, I would imagine.
I mean, a lot of
people are in their 40s, and
she's young.
She was 41, I think.
Still is. She's not dead, right?
She just got cancer. She said she's 43. Yeah. It sucks too. She's a singer. That's right. She sings a lot in that show. Yeah. So I don't know how long cancer is going to affect that. I'm sure it can't feel good though. But
right. What is it? Lung cancer? You said?
Yeah, it's lung cancer.
Wow. But I mean, the number of carcinogens aren't just in like smoking and tobacco and cigarettes and nicotine. Like you can get them in processed ham.
Yeah.
And so your diet can play a part in that as well. But I saw a study that basically was showing the rises and it was a chart showing the rises in diseases over time. And so, cancer used to be very low. Why is it so prevalent now? And essentially the chart's explaining that, well, we've eradicated all the bigger diseases, like polio and shit that would have killed us ahead of time. So now cancer's the new big one. And then once that one goes away, maybe it'll be dementia or something will be the next. But so it's basically because we didn't used to live long enough to get cancer is why it's so prevalent now.
Maybe.
So you're not seeing a lot of people with cancer when in the medieval ages when they're living to 35 years old on average.
Well, that's why this was also signed with people in their 40s the most at risk. It used to be, 70s was at risk, and 60s. And then, so that number's trending down too, though. So it's just like...
Yeah, well, it's like they're sneaking it into different places. I mean, you got to watch what deodorant you're using and stuff too. Like,
I don't even use deodorant anymore. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, like if you have a good diet, like I used to sweat all the time, like under my pores. Like I'm a mechanic, Every now and then I would do it, especially now working outside. Yeah, I've definitely had to do it a couple times, but my main reason was just because I didn't want to keep buying the plastic, like just limit as much plastic.
Yeah, single use kind of. Yeah.
But it got to the point where my diet would just got better and better. It's just like it just wouldn't sweat as much. And now it barely sweats at all. So it's
really,
it's crazy what your body eats and what it can do with it.
Yeah, that's I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, I mean, but not to get all gloomy. We're not doctors, by the way. So I don't know. I'm just telling you what happened to my body.
Aaron T, PhD.
Okay, no, let's not say
DDS.
that. Misinformation. It's fake news. I was recently on Peacock a lot, and I saw the trailer said it plugs a lot. Do you remember that show Monk?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're making a movie for it.
I saw that advertised.
They all look a lot older, but it definitely looks like Monk, so if you're a Monk fan, you'll be interested in that. I don't even know if it's out.
I think it came out recently.
It says it's on Peacock, so it's probably a Peacock original.
Yeah, I don't think it went to theaters, but I think it came out maybe over the weekend.
Yeah, so these commercials are old, so it's probably out, but...
Well, I mean, that's what they do. Like, USA used to have a show called Psych.
Yeah, I know. And they made movies. Did they make one movie or?
They made like 3.
Damn, I only saw one. I liked the show. The actors were great. Gus was good.
But so what happens is like they cancel the show because it's over.
Right, and then somebody picks it up.
And then it's like, well, yeah, let's just continue the story, but in movie forms instead. Because the show is kind of you don't have enough there to make a whole series, make a whole season, but you have enough that you could fill like 2 hours. So, or you could stretch it for an hour and a half. So, like, they're doing that with, like, The Walking Dead is over, but they're doing spin-off shows, but then they're going to continue the main storyline in movies now.
I'm so done with that fucking show, dude. Now, once the director said, we can make this show forever, I was like, click. I was like, I'm never watching this again. Like, you want a beginning, and you want an end. That's how I like a show.
Right.
I don't know about you, but, like... Other than, like, a comedy sketch like Family Guy or SNL or something, like, obviously...
Right, yeah, The Simpsons can run forever.
Exactly, because it's a show about nothing, like Seinfeld.
They said that about The X-Files, which was my all-time favorite show, and they're like, we can just do this forever, because you're just following, the FBI as they investigate mysterious cases, and we can keep writing that.
Didn't it,
And so once David Duchovny left, they brought in, what's-his-face from Terminator 2... And so then he tried to play a different detective, and they were basically
he was the Terminator.
He was
that guy. I know
the guy. Yeah,
about.
He just passed away recently too.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, we were talking about sad news.
Robert Patrick.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it was the T-1000.
Yeah, but he came in to replace David Duchovny, and the show wasn't the same without like the original cast. And so even though they could keep and they did try and bring in other people and doing different things, but ultimately Mulder and Scully is the X-Files, and to replace them with Doggett or anyone else is, in my opinion, it loses quality.
For sure. But did it come back as a show again?
And they made several movies throughout the show's run in the 90s or 2000s.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of it.
We
weren't allowed to watch that show.
After season 4, they did a movie. And then after season 7, they did another movie. The show ended. I think they did a third movie. Then they brought it back in 2015 as a show. And Gillian Anderson, the girl that plays Scully, is like, I'm not dyeing my hair red ever again.
What?
So she's a blonde in it now, and she's like, deal with it.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Well, why would people... I guess the fans, they would...
Right, because Scully's a redhead, and it's like, well,
just let her be a fucking...
That's what happened with Peg Bundy from Married with Children. She's like... Kathy Segal. She's like, I'm never dyeing my hair red again.
Is it Segal? I thought it was Siegel.
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
She's in Sons of Anarchy too.
Yeah.
She's
Leela.
She did it. Yeah, Leela from Futurama. Mm-hmm. But she did an interview where she said
she hated it. Huh.
Yeah, after that show ended, Married with Children, she's like, I'm never.
It wasn't obnoxious red because she was playing an obnoxious character.
Right, but she's not naturally redhead, so she has to do it.
Nobody's naturally that color.
But she has to do it so frequently, and it was such a pain for her. And then the fans came to expect it when they saw her, and she said never again. No, she hated it.
Good for her.
I mean, you got to draw a line somewhere.
You got to draw them somewhere, man. Oh yeah, the other trailer they plug a lot is for Migration. I thought it'd be right up your alley.
The animated film Migration is something that's on my list to watch, but it's lower on my list.
It's made by Illumination. They did the Super Mario
movie,
which was a big hit. They did a lot of...
They've got some good stuff, but the thing is with the Super Mario Brothers movie, this is what makes it a good animated film, is that the parents that go to see it can be just as entertained as the kids.
Yeah.
The trailer for Illumination's Migration looks like it's mostly targeted at the kids.
Well, I just saw a new trailer for it. Yeah, I think a new trailer just came out for it, and it seemed more family-oriented at that point because it's about the birds migrating, but it's about a family of birds migrating.
Yeah.
So, it's a mother, a father, and then, their baby migrating together. And it goes through classes. On the trailer, one was the baby bird has to go to the bathroom. So they have to stop migrating to go to the... And it was like a mother-daughter argument kind of thing.
I mean, the parents get that if you ever on a road trip with your kids and they got a small bladder.
Yeah. I mean, I've been there, on the child's and they're like, I gotta pee, But it's got... If you look up cast, the number one, and she would be the only reason I would see it, would be Awkwafina.
Oh, you do like her?
I love me some Awkwafina.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought you couldn't stand her.
I'm not a fan of her, but I love me some Awkwafina. She's funny, dude. She's just funny at because we had this talk the other day. I don't really find female comedians that funny, but she has her moments. And her show was okay, whatever.
Oh yeah.
But she's a very awkward, funny, even
Well, that's how she got her name. Is I'm awkward, but I'm fine with it. Exactly. Awkwafina.
And obviously, she even she's not the prettiest woman. I think she's hot though, but I mean But yeah, she's in it. Elizabeth Banks is in it. I can't stand that woman.
Really?
Yeah, she would be the woman I want to see. And Mark Ruffalo's in it. Another reason I wanted to see it. But Danny DeVito's in it. So it's just like, okay, we got some mixed bag of actors. And then Kumail
Nanjiani.
Yeah, he's in it also.
I like him.
He has good... Oh yeah, your boy. Keegan-Michael Key is also. Yeah.
Kumail Nanjiani started out as a stand-up, so... I always have kind of an affinity for that start, and then if you can make it big in Hollywood, good for you. Awkwafina, I do find funny. She was in Crazy Rich Asians. I don't know if you saw that one. She was really funny in that. And then most recently, I saw her in Renfield, which was Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage, basically, and Ben Schwartz, the guy from Parks and Rec, who played the crazy Donofrio. But it was basically Nicolas Cage plays Dracula, And then Nicholas Hoult, Beast from the new X-Men movies, the younger generation, he plays like his assistant trying to help Dracula regain his strength. And,
that movie looked good, actually. Yeah.
It was so good. And then Awkwafina plays a police detective, basically just trying to solve the case. And that was a really good film. So this one, like I said, the cast looks good. I like Elizabeth Banks when I've seen her. Of course you do.
She did Cocaine Bear. Her career was about to take a tank till that movie made her some money, and she was like, "Yes, I'm back in it."
I was gonna say I've liked her better in front of the camera than behind it. Like when she
her
was
directing
on
style. Yeah.
Pitch Perfect, I liked. I thought that was really good. The trilogy was
she's a good actress. I'll give her that.
Yeah, she was good in 40-Year-Old Virgin and stuff like that too. But yeah, I've never seen her as like a main role where she like the show or the movie is revolving around her.
Interesting. I've never thought about that. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Well, I can't think of it either.
She directed the reboot of Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, that one. She got a lot of flack for that.
A lot of flack, but she fell into that pit of this isn't for men, and then it's like men aren't watching my movie.
Well, yeah, she talked so much, and then nobody saw it. And she was like, "Why is nobody seeing?" It's like because you were talking.
Men are sexist; they're not watching it. But then you see the news article from the week before, and it's like this movie's not made for men.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, if it's not made for that target demographic,
did you see it?
I did watch it.
What'd you think?
I liked Kristen Stewart in that role, but also not. She was supposed to be the snarky Ryan Reynolds type, and it kind of fell flat just coming from her mouth.
Yeah, that
believe it.
That role's hard to do. Yeah. Ryan Reynolds does a great job doing it, obviously, but it's hard to do.
But yeah, Danny DeVito, Kumail Nanjiani, and Keegan-Michael Key. I mean, they're all great as well. Very distinct voices.
Exactly, they're good voiceovers.
Yeah. But like I said, from what I've seen it advertised as, it looks like the jokes aren't leaning towards a PG-13.
No, it's obviously a children's.
Like you can have an edgy PG movie, like Leo had some jokes in it that
was a Netflix movie though,
right? But it was still PG, but it would go over the kids' heads, but the parents would catch it, and that's what it's there for.
Well, that was people's biggest beef with the Mario movie. It was just like it's a chill-out movie. It's like and it was fucking awesome.
Right. Well, that one was another one that was all about family though. Mario and Luigi are brothers, and they're trying to start a company, small business owners and whatnot, and it's at its heart all about family. But it was still good. So Migration can be about family. That's not a problem. But we want to appeal to as wide an audience as possible, and it feels very narrow if you're just focusing on the kids. Which was my complaint about Good Burger, which was they didn't age it up for the kids that grew up on that original movie. Have some jokes for them too. But instead, it's just all about. It feels like that humor is all targeted towards the next generation, and I think that's just a mistake when you're trying to make a film that's for general audiences.
True. Well, especially if you're trying to make the most money, yeah.
Right. Well, it feels like, the kids are going to drag the parents. The parents are going to go out of nostalgia. And once we have you in the theater, we don't need to entertain you.
You already gave us the money.
Right.
No, but again, we've discovered a lot, especially in 2023. Word of mouth is a big deal because Rotten Tomatoes, people just don't give a shit anymore.
Can't trust them.
Yeah.
You just can't trust the mainstream.
Well, did you know Barack Obama has a production company?
I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised because he signed a deal with Netflix.
He's in the news recently, with his new Netflix movie.
Him and his wife have
Yeah, what was the name of that movie?
So it would make sense to start your own production company because of that. They had a show for a while. And then I guess they have a movie.
Well, the production company is called Higher Ground.
Oh, wow. They're really trying to take the moral high ground.
Yeah, well, they're getting a lot of flack for their... I'm trying to look up the name of the movie and go to the Rotten Tomatoes on it. Because they're getting a lot of... It was based off a book, and people don't like the changes that they made to make it a Netflix movie.
Oh, no.
And it's very race-oriented and stuff like that. Let's see what Newsweek says about it.
What was the name of the movie?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
I think it's... No, that's not the name. But obviously, look at the title.
Yeah, I'm reading the backlash.
The title of this Newsweek article is Obama Faces Backlash. Sorry. Let me say it again, and I'll just edit all that out. Obama faces backlash for films warning about white people. Interesting. Very interesting. That's that from the creator of Mr. Robot, though.
From when I see the 2023.
Yeah, Leave the World Behind.
Leave the World Behind is the name of it.
So yeah,
they had put out another one in 2021 called F This Job. So this isn't their first forte into filmmaking, but
is it weird that a president is making? Is that okay? Is that normal?
Former president.
Former president. Is that weird? Is that normal? Is it like whatever?
The cast is Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, Mahershala Ali.
Oh yeah, it's full of people.
He's the new Blade in Marvel. Kevin Bacon. Those are the only names I can see right now. But yeah, they are. I mean, those four are pretty heavy hitters in Hollywood.
Okay. Yeah, that Ali guy, isn't he supposed to play the new Blade?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. But he might want out of it depending on what the script says.
Look at what Google's reviews are saying. 1.9.
Ooh, that's a 1.5 stars.
Yeah, and if we go to the Rotten Tomatoes, by the way, it's certified fresh according to the critics. Weird. They gave it a 75. Fucking weird.
According to the short little bio here, it says it's about a family vacation on Long Island is interrupted by two strangers bearing news of a blackout. As the threat grows, both families must decide how to best survive the potential crisis, all while grappling with their own place in this collapsing world.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've seen, and this is what, obviously, critics gave us 75, certified fresh. Audience is saying right now
35% dumpster fire.
Yeah. So who do we believe? I don't know.
Well, it's just from the bio, how is that a preachy thing about race?
Well, there's a line that keeps getting quoted and keeps flying all over the internet that people are like, what the... Like, why would you say that? So I don't know what the... I didn't even read the book. I don't know. The scene is he's lying in bed with his daughter, which is already a weird scene anyway. But anyway, his daughter's talking to him, and his daughter says... their mother must have passed away because she's talking about something her mother would say. And she's like, mother would say... Don't trust anybody, especially white people. And Mama would be okay with that. It was just like, damn. It was just straight up. Now, imagine if it was the other way around. You know? What do you think the media would say about that? It's just so wild, dude. But yeah, people are obviously bashing that. Maybe that's why they're giving it down votes on... Maybe it is a good movie and they just didn't like that line. I don't know. But
I think people are tired of getting beaten over the head with the message in every movie.
Message, exactly. I mean, but I do have black friends on Facebook, and they talk about it, and they're like, this movie's awesome. And it's just like, it's weird how a cultural thing can turn different aspects depending on what race you are.
I mean, I've never seen a single Medea movie, so I mean...
That is true, but I know a lot of people, black, white, whatever, they love them, but I've never seen one. But
so I mean, there are the target demographics. If it's for a certain culture or a certain group...
Like Dear White People or whatever. Was that a show or was that a movie?
I think it was a movie.
Yeah, that movie got a lot of hate.
But, I mean, like we were just talking about, though, with the Charlie's Angels. If you say this is for a specific demographic, don't be upset when people outside of that demographic don't view it.
Like that it was a movie. Or that game movie, that guy who goes on the street and yells questions at
Billy
people.
Eichner, yeah.
He had that
I think it was just called Gaze.
It's something in the name, but...
But yeah, that was basically a gay rom-com.
It was a romantic comedy for gay people, and they're like, "Why is nobody seeing it?" It's like, well, if you look at the gay population in America, it's what would you expect? I mean,
like if you don't have kids, why would you be watching a kids movie?
Exactly,
it's not meant for you.
Yeah.
So, I think people just a lot of times, especially the director in today's world, just they're looking to pass the blame of why isn't your movie working? It's not that I did a bad job, it's everyone else is wrong. And so you see a lot of, you can blame toxic masculinity and blame, toxic fandoms for why Star Wars is failing, instead of saying it's just bad writing and it's just not entertaining.
Well, yeah, they love throwing either the race car or sexism car or whatever. Like, even there was an interview that Disney had to do because a backlash with Haley Bailey, is that her name?
Halle Bailey.
And Ray Zegler. Yeah, so they had to sit down with Variety, and they had an interview where it's just those two talking. It was very cringy, very weird. But yeah, a lot of it was just them saying, like, oh, you just have to, forget the haters and whatnot and just embrace it. It's like, we're making movies. That's all that matters. It's just like, well, okay, well, like, I was like, that was a great apology. You know? Yeah. It's cool.
I mean, there's a difference between making movies and making movies that people want to see.
Yep.
And I think that, when you're on that level, you should be making movies to entertain people. Like, if you want to just put out content, you can go to, a lesser streaming service or just do a Broadway play or something where limited people are going to see it. But if you want to be in the Hollywood machine, you got to make stuff for, it's all about bottom line and profit margins nowadays. So if you're not factoring that in as an actress, you're not thinking about the long-term, value of the product that you're selling.
Well, it's just funny too, because like it was supposed to do damage control and I guess humanize them, but it was just them putting themselves on the pedestal. It was really weird. But like tweets are coming out about how back in the past she had Ray Zegler, she had tweeted out about Gina Carano getting fired from was it Mando or whatever, and she was saying like, I might not be as big as her, but I could do the role and I'm available. It's just like, dude, no. Do you imagine if she played that character?
Yeah. Well, she's young though, man. Like, right. What is she, like 20-something?
Dude, she's tiny, dude.
Yeah.
There's no way. Nobody would love that. I promise you.
Well, yeah, Gina Carano, you can believe would beat up
she's badass.
A lot of men. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to fight with her.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight her either. But yeah, Rachel Zegler, like that's...
She's sweet, man.
I mean, the one thing I would say about the new Hunger Games that she's in, she's 22 years old.
Yeah.
But is that they didn't try to make her a badass in the new film with the Hunger Games where she's
she supposed to be, or... Like, I don't even know what her character is or what she does.
She's chosen to go fight in the Hunger Games.
Is she the main character?
She's one of the main characters. Okay. She's the main female lead. Right. And then there's the male lead that's, basically, he becomes the president in the first Hunger Games movie, like the original series.
Oh, okay, so that's a younger version.
It's kind of his origin. So this is going back to, like, the ones with, the original Hunger Games and all that was set, like, the 75th Hunger Games. This one's going back to, like, the 10th. And so she's getting chosen to fight in this battle royale competition, and they're not at all trying to make her see. I mean, they do a little bit. We talked about last week about how she gets tough guy lines and gets to, kind of be a little female empowerment. But when she's in the arena fighting, she's not all of a sudden amazing with a javelin. Like, she's running and hiding and cowering.
Trying to survive.
She, there's other people that are definitely out for blood. People with more muscle definition and whatnot, male and female, but her character, they didn't try to make her this badass, do-it-yourself, figure everything out, and all of a sudden you're MacGyver and you're surviving because of your wits and your talent. No, she hid most of the time, and then had, the guy, Cornelius Snow, sending her packages and helping her from the outside in order to get her to survive. And so I thought that was a really good decision to not go overly in that direction of, she's just the most capable person on the planet.
That's funny.
But so have you been watching a lot of Peacock recently?
No, I just recently got on it to watch, I'm rewatching Scrubs.
Okay.
That one's on there. I just finished season 1.
That's on Hulu too.
Hulu too, yeah, I know. But, let's see, I was trying to figure out, Okay, so Aquaman 2 still doesn't come out yet. It's supposed to release right before Christmas.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, so we'll see what Disney... I don't really think I have any Disney news today, but...
Yeah, I found, and this is completely by accident, that I just happened to notice a pattern in my viewing, is that most of what I've been watching now is Apple TV Plus, because they just have so many good shows. Like Ted Lasso was on there, and that was a huge hit for them.
Yep, it definitely was a big hit for them. They have the movies, like I said, Napoleon looked good. They definitely look like
the morning show. I think I talked to you guys about on Saturday.
Aniston.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon, and the first 2 seasons had Steve Carell in it. It had Billy Crudup, who I really like. I think he was Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen movies. He's a good actor, and so the whole thing, I mean, as a show, I thought was really good. The storylines and stuff. It does a little bit get into that left-leaning kind of atmosphere for a minute because they're a morning show, but it's a left-leaning morning show type of a thing. Yeah. So when in the new season, it takes place basically kind of covering COVID and then into the times afterwards. Snap. And so when Roe versus Wade gets overturned, there's a whole episode about that. Oh, man. And it becomes very obvious what their opinion is.
Wow, two women? And it's liberal women's opinion? Wow. What's that?
Like, man, I'm trying to watch this show to be entertained and not focus on life. And all of a sudden they're doing this crossover with all these real world problems. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But
well, it's a show about the news. So.
Right. Right. And and the first season's all about the Me Too movement. So I should have caught on. That's on me. But they have Mythic Quest, Raven's Banquet, which is Rob McElhenney from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, has his own show.
Okay.
And he said It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is such a long name that he wanted his new show to also have a really long name. So it's called Mythic Quest, Raven's Banquet. And it's basically, the plot is, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's a group of friends that basically have to stick together because of they're such failures that they're all they have. And this one's the opposite, where there's such a success they have to stick together. They're game developers. They come out with basically what's the equivalent of like World of Warcraft at the time, where it's this huge thing. I guess Baldur's Gate is what people are talking about nowadays. But they come out with this game, Mythic Quest, that is, the new hotness. Everyone's playing it, and therefore you're expected to keep working together. And so they're dysfunctional, but they have to keep, churning stuff out. And I think that one's on its third season too.
Nice.
And that one was really funny, really good. It's very short season, maybe 10 episodes. And it's very different than Always Sunny, but equally as entertaining, I would say.
But is it coming?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then they also, I've talked a couple of times, I know we're not going to talk Godzilla, but Monarch Legacy of Monsters is the show that's set in the Godzilla
you were saying
universe.
You like watching that show. Yeah.
Kurt Russell's in it now.
Yeah, well, I thought he was always in it.
Yeah, he joined late, man. Season, like halfway through the season now. I think it's on episode 5 is where he comes in. But they have his son, Wyatt Russell, in there, which is really cool. When they do, a flashback to what was going on during the 50s, and then the camera just kind of does this blend into what he looks like now.
Yeah,
and that guy looks just like Kurt Russell, de-aged.
Yeah,
but it's his kid, so that's why the faces line up and everything. Other than that, there's no real names, I would say, no famous names to it, but it's really good storyline. I'm really into that, and that's also, like I said, Apple TV Plus. Then they have For All Mankind, which is a really big show, basically set in outer space. They have another show called Invasion, which is just season 2 just started. I'm a big fan of. I'm a little foggy on the memory with that one, but it's basically about an alien invasion.
Are you gonna get an iPhone?
I mean, does it come with free Apple TV?
I'm sure they have subscriptions where it's like, hey, buy our new phone, you get a free year of Apple TV or whatever.
Okay, sure. I mean, I don't like their operating system, but...
Oh yeah, For All Mankind has that guy, Joel Kinnaman.
Yeah.
He's a great actor, love him.
Yeah, this one's a very dramatic show. My brother's into it, and it takes a lot to get my brother into a show that he can follow for multiple seasons like that. Mm. And he's a big fan.
Yeah, the audience seems to think it's very well, too.
Yeah. And it's basically, it's like, where would we be if the space race continued?
Right.
And then they have the show Severance, which is a Ben Stiller directed, I think he might have wrote it too, drama, starring, what's his face from Parks and Rec, Ben.
Oh yeah, he's done a lot of Apple stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're working on season 2. His name's Adam Scott.
Adam Scott, that's the guy. He's on Party Down as well. But so basically the premise on that one is, he works for a company, but he doesn't know what he does, because when you go down the elevator to go to work, there's a chip implanted in your brain that basically just shuts your memory off.
Oh yeah, you told me about this one. Go on.
Yeah, and so he basically then, and everyone he works with are two very different types of people. There's your work self and there's your home self. and neither one of them knows about each other. So, like, when he leaves for the weekend, you know, he gets in the elevator, pushes a button to go up, and basically blinks, and then he's coming back down, and it's Monday. And that's all that version of him knows, is what's in that office. So that way you can't take your secrets with you. Whatever they're working on down there, you know, your home life doesn't know about it. And so then all of a sudden there starts to be, you know, obviously some flaws with that. There's ethical complaints constantly going on in the background. You're hearing news articles and stuff about, like, you know, what's really happening? Is this something we should be doing to our brains?
No. Why are we questioning that?
Yeah, but then all of a sudden, you know, he's at home, just, you know, whatever, and then kind of gets a note that, you know, something fishy's going on, so he starts investigating, and then he starts passing a note kind of to his, I don't want to say his sleep self, but his work
self, yeah.
And so then, you know, two halves of his brain essentially are trying to figure out this mystery, and he starts recruiting the other employees to try and figure it. I mean, the first episode had me hooked in the first 5 minutes, and then I just binge watched it a couple years ago. It's been a while since season 1, but I'm looking forward to season 2 on that. And like I said, it's just Apple TV in general seems to really be hitting.
Yeah, they got some heavy hitters there, yeah. Definitely. Like, people ask me all the time, it's like, why don't you have an iPhone? It's like, I ain't got iPhone money, man.
Yeah.
like, that shit's expensive.
But it's just a coincidence. I'm just watching good shows, and then it just happens.
It's like, oh, this is Apple.
It says Apple TV Plus at the beginning, and after a while, I kind of caught on. Like, there's a real connection here. That this stuff is, they're really. I don't know if it's the budget, you know, because it's not the most expensive thing in the world, but the writing and everything and the directing just seems really spot on.
I know Eddie Murphy has a new movie coming out. Well, I think it came out. It's a Christmas movie.
Yes, I've seen that advertised as well.
Was that Apple? That wasn't Apple, was it?
I don't think so.
It was one of those apps. I don't think it was like a... Yeah, here it is. Candy Cane Lane.
Yeah, that one also looked like it's more kid-friendly than it is for the adults.
And the critics are not being friendly with it at all. But it's a new Christmas movie. I mean, we don't really get a lot of those, but yeah, critics gave it a 41, audience gave it a 45. But especially because we haven't even... When was the last Eddie Murphy movie you've really seen?
I was just about to ask, does he need the money? Or why, is this a passion project of his?
I don't know, man.
Because that's the kind of thing where... Yeah, he doesn't need to take a role if he doesn't want to, because he's got the new Beverly Hills Cop movie coming out soon.
What? They doing that? Dude, when are they...
He's reprising the role of Axel Foley. It's supposed to be in production, I believe. And so, yeah, to do this Christmas movie just feels really odd.
Well, I'm sure he has contracts where they say you have to do this or whatever. Yeah. It says Beverly Hills Cop 4 trailer released, confirmed with poster.
So the trailer's already out?
Well, they confirmed it.
Okay. But, I mean, that means that it's pretty far along in production then, if they're cutting together a trailer already.
Oh, yeah, it did come out. Oh, it's a yeah, so he must have some going with Netflix. See if this is real.
That seems to be the thing now, is to sign a deal with Netflix. I mean, Obama's doing it. Adam Sandler's doing it. And Sandler's doing, like, multi-picture deals as well.
Oh, it says it premieres in 17 hours.
Oh, so...
That's weird that you have premiere date drops for a teaser trailer for a movie that won't even be out for years. It's wild, dude.
It's frustrating how because they will do a teaser trailer
for a
trailer and then movie. So you're trying to build hype for a teaser that's trying to build hype for a trailer that's trying to build hype for a movie that's not coming out in months.
I loved 1, 2, and 3, but, like, obviously, as the continued, my love for it,
the quality kind of drops off.
I don't even know if it's just storyline. It's just like you're just beating a dead horse at this point.
I mean, that's what happened with Lethal Weapon after a while.
Yeah. Aren't they talking about another one of those too?
I mean, I know there's a show.
Yeah, but wasn't there just... Mike watches that show. I don't know anything about it.
I don't know anything about it other than Sean William Scott had to come in to replace one of the actors because they just couldn't get along, him and Damon Wayans. But they wanted to keep Riggs as Riggs, so it was like Riggs' cousin, kind of, because they wanted to keep the last name. So they had to write him off the show, and then also...
It says Lethal Weapon 5 reportedly in works, expected to start shooting 24.
I like that Mel Gibson's making a comeback, like Fat Man we were talking about.
Yeah, dude, it was so good.
I've seen him in a couple of things since then. Boss Mode or Boss Level, I think it was, something like that, on Hulu, is a really good one. Kind of a action movie take on Groundhog's Day, where Mel Gibson plays the villain in that.
Well, yeah, because I watched Fat Man and I have Peacock, so I'm going to start watching that Continental show. It looks pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah, I heard he's in that one as well.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing...
I think it's Boss Level. It's got the guy from... He's in the Marvel Universe.
Oh, yeah,
Crossbones.
It's an old movie.
Yeah, Frank Grillo, is it? Is that his name?
Yeah, Grillo. Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah, and basically he wakes up every single day is the same, but it's like he's a hitman and there's hitmen sent to kill him. So as soon as he wakes up, there's an assassin that he's got to try and avoid, and there's an attack helicopter outside of his door, and like he's just reliving the same day over and over until he gets it right, or whatever.
Yeah, I might watch that. That's on Hulu.
And I really enjoyed that one because you see the Groundhog Day trope in a lot of things, but to see an action spin on it, I think, is a fresh twist. And the way they do it, I thought was really good. It had heart to it, because he's also he's got kids and stuff, so it's all kind of connected, and it comes together in the end in a way that I'm all right with it. I was pretty satisfied watching that.
Yeah, it has that comedian in it, Ken Jeong. No, yeah.
Yeah, he was a...
Michelle Yeoh. I like her. She was in Disney stuff, right?
Isn't she in Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Crazy Rich Asians. Yeah, that. What is that?
That is a really interesting take on the multiverse.
Oh boy. Okay, now I don't want to know about it.
I liked it, but it's more of a watch once kind of a thing. I think Awkwafina's in it as well. It's a watch once, and it's good, but that's not something you're going to just put on multiple times, binge watch it for all the Easter eggs or something. It's an interesting take on...
The audience loved it.
It's kind of got a Matrix feel to it a little bit as well.
So it's action?
It becomes an action, yeah.
Okay. Wow, small budget. It was only like $20 million.
Yeah, and is that A24 did that one? The production company? Because they are an emerging independent film company that is just putting out banger after banger with small budgets and making it work.
That's what Jamie Lee Curtis was in.
Yeah, she was unrecognizable in that. I don't know if she had to put on a fat suit, but she was looking frumpy.
Oh, man.
And that's not a word I use often.
It said it had multiple production companies for it.
I mean, that's not uncommon. AGBA, okay. IAC.
Alright, that's cool. Might check it out. But that one's on Prime, though, so I'm probably not going to check it out.
Yeah, fair enough. But I'm a fan of independent films, especially nowadays when everything's either a reboot or a sequel. Like, if you want something original, you gotta go to these indie films.
Right,
now.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Why has nobody seen our movies? Oh, like even Disney. Let me go to that article. It did have some Disney news. I forgot to talk about. They're releasing a lot of movies that didn't do well in the box office, and they're just going to re-release them again next year.
In theaters or on their platforms?
In theaters, bro. Which is, I guess, even if, like, you probably have very minimum advertising for it.
Right.
I would imagine. And you don't have to produce anything or whatever. Everything's already made. You just have to re-release it in theaters.
I mean, you have to advertise a little bit to let people know it's coming back into a theater, but, like, which films are they thinking of?
That one with Joy, was that Elemental?
Oh, Inside Out. Wait, that's a sequel, though. Inside Out 2 is going to be the sequel.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that one already came out.
That one did. The first one came out. I don't think the second one did.
I think the second one came out this year.
Elemental is a different...
Right, yeah, I'm thinking of it. That was a different one, yeah.
Yeah. But that's one where you can hear the voices Poehler. Inside the little girl's head. Yeah. Lewis Black played the angry one.
Inside Out came out 2015.
I liked that one. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense to re-release that.
Oh, you're right. So they do have a new... I thought we talked about they didn't have a movie coming out except...
Well, from the Marvel side of things, they only have Deadpool 3 coming out. I think Disney still has other divisions. And, like, they might do another Star Wars or something, too.
Yeah, it's definitely in Disney Studios.
the only Marvel film coming out is going to be Deadpool 3 because they really want to...
You mean like live action or whatever?
Rework that.
Okay, well, they got that coming out. Yeah, the first one was a big hit, I remember. My nieces and nephews love it.
I liked it too, and I don't even have nieces.
Bill Hader. That was the other thing. You were talking about Apple TV. Bill Hader, didn't he have a show on Apple TV? Or was that HBO?
His was on Showtime. Yeah. It was called Barry.
Yeah, Barry. You like that?
Very good show.
It was interesting. It was a little slow for me.
It was slow. Yeah, the humor was very dry. The last season was almost all directed by Bill Hader. And I think it only went 4 seasons, but yeah, it's basically a hitman decides he wants to get out of the hitman life and start becoming a Hollywood actor. And then when the two lives converge, it just, drama ensues.
Yeah. At least I saw a couple episodes. It's funny. But...
It's quirky, I'd say that for sure.
But yeah, Inside Out, Amy Poehler, that girl everyone loves, Mindy Kaling. Yeah.
Yeah. She's
great, yeah.
She's all right.
Alright, so Inside Out 2, that'll be a movie next year. Okay, what else was on there?
You see Kate McKinnon's hosting Saturday Night Live this week?
No, I didn't.
So she's she was an alumni for the longest time.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about SNL a little bit on the news cycle next hour. So follow us over for that. But yeah, I mean, they're bringing back all, remember Pete Davidson just did a couple weeks ago, right?
Right.
There's a couple, I forget who did the premiere. There was somebody else too. It's just, they know they're in trouble. But they're not, I checked their numbers are still solid. People are still watching, so it's like,
I think it's just a different generation. It comes in waves with SNL. They had that peak in the 70s when it first came out, it was huge. Chevy Chase became a star overnight. Mm-hmm. He only was on the show for 1 season because of it, and he just went on to do all these movies and become a superstar. But then, you got your Bill Murrays coming out of it. Then in the 80s, it took a dive, and then Chris Rock brought the show up. Eddie Murphy, brought the show up all of a sudden, rose him to superstardom, basically saved the show. And then you had a run where, Robert Downey Jr. was a cast member for a while, for a season, and it just...
I was about to say not long, right?
Yeah, he was bad at it. Sarah Silverman was on there. She was bad at it. There was a bad run. And then you had the 90s where all of a sudden you have Farley, Sandler, Rock, David Spade, all of them. And then you have that golden age resurgence. So every decade or so, it kind of ebbs and flows. And I think right now we're in that low point right now where it's hard to find great talent.
Well, apparently there's a new Lion King movie that will be dropping next year around this time. It is a prequel to Disney's Lion King. Mufasa, the Lion King. That's the name of it, guys. Yeah, Mufasa, the Lion King. Okay.
Yeah, I think I heard talks about that a couple months ago. And it's, how Scar got his scar.
Interesting. Don't care. Let's say, and then obviously Snow White is set to drop 25, and then the Moana, they did announce they'll do a live adaptation with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
In April. No, they announced it in April, but it should be out June of 25. So.
Well, he's the only one of the original voice actors coming back for role, so I find that interesting.
It's going to be a different Moana?
Well, because, why would you advertise as, The Rock's going to be in it too?
Because he's The Rock.
But he was in the animated one as well. So if you're going to advertise, we're bringing the cast members back.
Who's the girl from Moana? You don't even know her name.
Exactly.
Well, why would they mention her if nobody knows it?
Or they'd be like, we're bringing Moana back too, guys. Like that, you would think.
Yeah, it is only mentioning him. Let's Google it. Moana. I thought I had no Disney news.
Yeah, you fool. There's always Disney news. Yeah, I can't even pronounce that name.
Possible voice cast for Moana 2. Why are you saying voice cast? But it's supposed to be live action. Well, no. Maybe they're making a Moana 2, and then they're also making a Moana live action.
Well, I was thinking that you'd get a voice cast if you have an actress and then someone to dub over for the singing parts if you can't get an actual singing actress.
It says since it's a remake, it should retain most of the same characters. But the only confirmed actor so far is Maui. Yeah, Dwayne.
Yeah, so they, according to...
Oh, wait, no, yeah, it says she's not. It says Alui Craval.
I could not pronounce that.
Will not return as Moana, but is going to be producing the movie alongside. What the?
So this is from Entertainment Tonight online. Auli'i Cravalho. That's a mouthful.
She has a beautiful voice.
She talks about helping to find her live-action Moana replacement, and says what she's looking for. And I guess there's a video of an interview.
Roseanne said she loved that movie.
Really?
In Moana, she said that movie was based on her. She said she loved it.
Okay.
Obviously, not, but she said that's what she felt like when she watched it. She's like, this is my life. It's just like, well, that's cool she felt that way.
So Cravalho tells E.T. that she's excited to join in the search for the new Moana and pass the torch to the next young woman of Pacific descent.
Pacific Islander.
So she's, I guess, helping to pick her replacement, but yeah, she's not going to be in it. And they didn't really say the criteria other than, like, I guess she has to be a Pacific Islander in order to qualify. But
I don't even know if I could say that, but like...
Well,
remember it was a couple weeks ago, there was a model statue of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You didn't hear about this?
No.
It was so funny. They had to change it. And it was such a dumb story, dude. Let's see.
But they do stuff like that where they will, like on movie posters and stuff, they'll change your skin color to, what they think would fit better. And they did it to this girl from Miss Marvel, where they edited her face to, it doesn't even look like her anymore, because they try to CGI it in such a way that, like on the movie poster promoting it, and it looked awful, and then they had to apologize and then redo it to make it look like more like the girl that it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So yeah, so here's it was a wax statue, I think in Paris. Look at it.
Oh yeah, they made him really light skinned there. I didn't know if a spotlight was on him, but
they made such a big deal about it, dude.
So they got to airbrush over that?
I don't know what they did. It kind of, just fell off the trend after that. You know how it goes.
But yeah, if you look at her face right there, like that's not really what she looks like in real life.
Are you saying they lined her?
They gave her a stronger jawline and stuff.
Disney does that all the time. Even
But so if you look at there, she has more chubby around her face. I don't want to say chubby, but
right, more
they kind of
more childish. Yeah.
Yeah.
But was it like on Star Wars in general when Finn was a big character and it was big for the community and whatnot? The black community because we got a black character in Star Wars. Right. Everybody was happy. But when they advertised it in places like Japan or
they
Asia,
took them off the poster.
It wasn't even on the poster. Yeah. People were thinking that's what originally, people thought, we're going to make him a Jedi or something, and they were like, nope, and they just did away with his character pretty much altogether. Because they're talking about the new Daisy Ridley Star Wars.
There is another one coming out.
Well, it's in talks. It's not really... Nothing's been confirmed yet or whatever. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy, she's all about it. She's like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
But, as far as... No other character has been confirmed except Daisy, but everybody loves Daisy, of course. She's
a good actress.
Yeah, she is a good actress.
But she can only do so much of what she's given.
Well, yeah, her career's kind of over.
She's only done this. Yeah. I mean, they picked her out of obscurity.
You hit big, and now you're done. So, and to be fair, you have a lot of money. Just go and be a philanthropist, invest and stuff.
Right.
And don't even.
And if her passion is to be an actress,
she kind of screwed the pooch on that one. But.
I mean, it's a very common thing going on right now in Disney is when they're coming up with new ideas for, especially IP, they want unknown, newer faces. So they did it with when they were picking Peter Parker. They wanted to make sure that it was, the new Spider-Man was someone that you don't really have a connection with from another film or anything. So a lot of times when you're seeing these people, you're like, I don't even know who this person is, and you're putting them in this major movie. It's like, yeah, that's the point. So you can just believe in them as that character.
Well, Tobey Maguire, he did a good job, and he wasn't...
Well, they weren't doing that back then.
Oh, okay.
It's more...
But Garfield, definitely. But that made his career, too.
Right.
And then the new guy, that pretty much
Tom Holland,
pretty much jumped his career.
But if you look at the newer Star Wars you're like, who? Name another movie those people were in before then. You know, like I guess one guy was in Attack the Block, but that was only really big in the UK. I didn't hear about that until after Star Wars came out, when people were saying, "Oh, he's also in this thing." And so I think that worked in the sense that you can sell the character, but it worked against Daisy Ridley in specific, because now that's all you're Rey from Star Wars now in anything
that
you do.
And that girl from Game of Thrones, what was her name?
Amelia Clark. Yeah, she's Daenerys Targaryen now. Yeah.
I never saw the show. I just know she's naked in it. So
they all are.
Yeah.
But she says,
well, that redhead, what's that? Was Jonas' ex-wife? What's her name?
Jonas' ex-wife?
Yeah, she was married to a Jonas brother.
Really?
I'm sure it's still trending. Jonas divorce.
She was in Game of Thrones too, or in a different show?
No, she's in the show Game of Thrones. Sophie Turner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was in it, right?
Yeah. She was in it. She was a start.
Yeah, she's pretty late. Yeah.
Yeah, and they even had this one girl in it who played a character named Arya, and she was a young girl.
A short girl.
Yeah.
What's her name? Her career blew up because of that.
Arya Stark is all I know her as. But I'll know her name once I hear it. Arya.
Yeah, I got it.
And she...
Yeah. People love her. I'm not really a fan
of her, but so young that they couldn't do any nude scenes with her.
Oh, really?
And then in the final season, because she was over 18 by then, they were able to squeeze
get naked.
Just a little bit of side boob and just for a moment, just to say, all right, everyone did it now.
Maisie Williams.
Maisie Williams, yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm not... What is going on with her?
Yeah, she's an interesting taste. Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, well... But alright, I'm glad we got some side boob out of her.
Yeah, they were like, well, the show's going off the air, you just turned 18, everyone else did it. It's your turn.
Get your tits out there, let's see them. I look it up and people are like, that wasn't even her side boob to begin with. That's funny. How's that other show that came off Game of Thrones? Are they working on a season 2? What was the name? Probably. It was super popular, yeah.
It was House of the Dragon?
Yeah, that was a...
Hot D is what I always called it.
Nice.
But that one's more violent, less nudity. Because I know Amelia Clark, after the first...
it's starting out slow, I would imagine.
Yeah, the first couple seasons of Game of Thrones, I think she put in a non-nudity clause when she re-signed her contract.
Who?
Amelia Clark.
Oh, nobody's going to watch that.
Like 4 seasons into Game of Thrones, she's like, yeah, I'm not doing it anymore. And they're like, we got plenty of chicks. We'll make do.
We'll just use AI to fill in your boobs. Don't worry.
They did that with...
Okay, so last week, there's an official teaser trailer for season 2 of House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
The full trailer came out 2 days ago. So.
I liked House of the Dragon.
There's a teaser for a trailer for a show. Yeah, here we go.
House of Dragon season 1 was better than whatever the Lord of the Rings show was that they were trying to do.
That show was terrible.
And then Amazon Prime's trying to do Wheels of Time, which I don't even know what that show's about.
Wheels of Time?
Yeah, I think season 2 just came out, and I have no clue what it's about.
It says Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time. Pardon my pluralization.
So based on books.
Yeah, but they're trying to make it up there with House of the Dragon and the Rings, and it's like you're not on that level.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, because it came out in 21, and never even heard of it.
Yeah, I think, like I said, the second season I think is coming out soon, or is out.
No, I think season 3 is coming out.
Oh, geez, really?
That was what was trending. Let me see. Wheel of Time season 3 won't premiere until spring of 25.
Okay.
Power, that was the one we were talking about. Rings of Power season 2, coming sometime between spring and winter of next year. So
I was watching both of those shows, Rings of Power and Game of Thrones.
They kept trying to put them together, but they're way different shows. I don't know why people
exactly different. And yeah, so I'm watching, if you watch the Game of Thrones one, there's a lot of blood, gore, just violence. I mean, that's what things were like in the medieval ages. It was a tough existence, and people were ruthless and brutal, and they don't shy away from showing it. And then you get to this campy nature of the Lord of the Rings and Hobbits, and everything's fun, and it's very different. Even though they're set around the same time period,
right? Yeah.
It's very different tones that they're going for.
Well, the thing was, the budget for Rings of Power was expected to range $100 million to $150 million per season. I think They spent $200 million on that season, and I think it was the biggest production of a show ever.
Yeah, I had heard that. It was definitely ballooning its budget. But everyone that's got a criticism of it is it's on the writing.
Well, this is saying, the budget was $1 billion. That seems a bit ridiculous.
Probably with advertisements and whatnot, merchandise, things like that, you might grow to $1 billion. You got to get toys and all of that stuff made.
That's interesting. Yeah, which, oh man, we hit a number.
All right.
Oh man, I was going to talk about Hasbro. They're seeing a lot of heat from their Star Wars toys. Nobody's buying Daisy Ridley toys, apparently.
Oh, no. I didn't even know Hasbro had the contract.
Yeah, they have the rights to... They're a big toy company. They have the rights to...
Well, I know that they are getting into the movie industry now because of things like Transformers going so big.
Hasbro had to cut 1,100 jobs or 20% of its workforce.
Jeepers.
Yeah. People are blaming Disney toys for it, but I'm sure it has a lot to do with other things, too, but...
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, that's interesting. That's a good way to leave off, unless there's anything you want to say.
No, I think that pretty much covers it. Just follow us into the news segment.
We gotta make our way to the news. Yeah.
We can talk about SNL some more to really bridge that gap.
Oh, you know it, man. That was a good one.
Thanks for watching.
Oh, yeah, and Aaron's going to watch Fat Man.
Yes.
I watched it this morning. I was going to do a review on it, but I was like, I'll let Aaron watch it. We'll do a review together. We'll have some talks about it. Maybe it'll be our new Christmas movie because it was good.
Join us next week for our Christmas episode.
All right. Thanks. We Media out.